Advocating for myself is really difficult. And I'm sure there are some of you loves out there who feel the same. I'm not in the best mood today after dealing with my leasing office from yesterday. There was some more stuff that happened this morning via email, and I felt really dysregulated. And I felt like I was being gaslit. And I'm just so tired when I think about I'm going to have to advocate for myself for like the rest of my life, right? Because I'm a Black femme person who is chronically ill and disabled and who is neurodivergent. And I'm living in a world that is not friendly to Black femme people who are chronically ill, disabled, neurodivergent, and queer. Like, I tick off all of the minority boxes that there is to check off, pretty much. And it's an exhausting experience because I am going to have to continuously speak up and advocate for myself in unethical or bad situations. And I think I just feel exhausted because I feel like when I advocate for myself, a lot of the time I just end up being gaslit. There are times where there is accountability taken from the other party, but I feel like that's rare. And it's happened professionally, personally, academically, like many facets of my life, right? So this recent situation with the leasing department, leasing office, and trying to advocate for myself and get my disability accommodated and feeling like I'm doing too much. And this isn't the first time, right? Uh, Back when I was shortly diagnosed with MS, like literally like a week or so after my job at the time, and I can make a whole separate story time on this. Essentially, I had a supervisor make a offhanded comment about my health insurance being tied to my job. And so I needed to show up to work because I had to go to appointments and stuff like that, right? And it led to an HR situation, and HR sided with the supervisor. And yeah, so, and then like in the midst of that, I was also dealing with stuff from school. I was in grad school at the time that was also traumatic, where I also had to advocate for myself, and nothing really came out of it. Like the person who was doing the offending and doing the unethical stuff never got reprimanded. And then fast forward, and I enter a job. I think this was like 2020. I got a job. I had a really bad supervisor that was like talking behind my back. And I was struggling with mental health at the time. And I had a parent that was dealing with health issues. And instead of receiving support or how can I help you, I just got talked down on and tried to advocate for myself. That didn't work either. So you see that where I'm going with this. There's a pattern in my life of people doing unethical, crazy things, and I try and speak up, and nothing really happens. Um, I just end up feeling crazy, and I don't know if this is normal. Um, and I'm tired. If I could hire someone to advocate for me, like just someone to cuss someone out for me, right? I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I don't want to like be put in these positions anymore because it's really hard. And I'm like, once again, I'm like, what's the point if no one's going to listen to me? And then once again, I realize with all the minority groups that I'm a part of, I can't necessarily escape it, right? I just can't. Um, so my options are to advocate and feel like I'm being gaslit, right? And have nothing come out of it really, or to be really passive and a doormat. And so I feel like there's no really win-win here because once again, in my experience, there's been little accountability taken from the other party sometimes, but that's like the minority of my situations. So yeah, I don't know what the purpose of this video is. I think just to share my experience a little bit more and that it's hard. People have tips on how to advocate for yourself because I try and be polite and firm, right? I do research on ethics, on laws. Yesterday was the Fair Housing Act, you know, and I'm like, short of cursing people out and being like belligerent, I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to get people to hear me, or even if that's my job to do that. That's it.